If this list had a king, the Steam Deck OLED would sit proudly on the throne, flexing its 7.4-inch HDR OLED 90Hz display while looting your entire Steam library. And looking glorious while doing it. At $549 for the 512GB model, or $649 for 1TB, it's packing Wi-Fi 6E, 16GB RAM, and battery life that spans from 3 to 12 hours depending on how deep into Elden Ring you go. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a glow-up. Whether you're immersed in the atmospheric horror of Resident Evil or replaying Arkham Knight for the 6th time, the OLED screen breathes new life into every pixel. SteamOS seals the deal with a console-like interface that makes navigating your game library a joy, and let's face it, Windows handhelds just can't keep up. Fast forward to 2025 and the Switch OLED is still making noise, and for good reason. Retailing around $349, often bundled with Mario Kart and Nintendo Switch Online, this sleek little legend features a 7-inch 1280 by 720 OLED screen, 64GB storage, a much-needed stable kickstand, and a LAN port in the dock. Sure, it's not 4K, sure, the screen's still 720p, but those first-party Nintendo titles, still untouchable. From Metroid Dread to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, this thing makes them shine like never before. And yes, we're still pretending the original Switch's floppy kickstand never happened. If you're cool with living on the edge of Windows 11 chaos, meet your frenemy, the ROG Ally. This beast starts at $499 and comes loaded with a 7-inch 1080p 120Hz display, AMD Ryzen Z1, 16GB LPDDR5 RAM, and up to 512GB of NVMe storage. It can run nearly any PC launcher, but you'll need to babysit the battery like it's a digital pet from the 90s. Still, that 120Hz refresh rate and ergonomic grip go a long way in making it an elite portable PC experience. Just don't expect the same polish as SteamOS. The Lenovo Legion Go pulls up with a massive 8.8-inch QLED display running at 144Hz, detachable controllers, and a custom FPS mode that lets one controller act like a mouse. It's weird, but it works. For around $699, you get the Ryzen Z1 Extreme chip, 16GB RAM and 512GB to 1TB of SSD storage, making it a genuine contender in the Windows handheld space. Just don't expect miracles from the battery. Now picture the ROG Ally hitting the gym, bulking up with 24GB RAM and a 1TB SSD, and walking out more ergonomic with longer battery life and faster load times. That's the ROG Ally X. It still uses the same Ryzen Z1 Extreme chip and 1080p display as its little sibling, and the price floats above $699. The upgrades aren't night and day, but if you want more comfort and stamina out of Windows handheld, this is the move. Until they drop an OLED version anyway. Okay, not a handheld console in the strictest sense, but hear us out. Apple threw the A17 Pro chip into this thing, making it a mini monster. With an 8.3-inch liquid retina display, it plays games like Resident Evil 4 at 30 FPS, and does it while doubling as your reading, Netflix, and FaceTime device. Prices start at $499 for 128GB and go up to $779 for the 512GB model. Just slap on a Bluetooth controller and boom, you've got one of the best portable gaming tablets in 2025. The Switch 2 takes everything we loved about the original and levels it up with a 7.9-inch 1080p 120Hz LCD screen, DLSS-powered visuals, a redesigned Joy-Con 2, and backward compatibility with Switch 1 games. At $449 or $499 for the Mario Kart bundle, it runs on the NVIDIA Tegra T239 chip with 12GB of RAM and 256GB storage. It even outputs in 4K when docked. Ergonomics are still a bit flat and the battery life is around 2 hours, but for Nintendo fans, it's worth every penny. Let's finish with a curveball. The ROG Phone 9 Pro is a smartphone, yes, but it's also an absolute handheld beast. For about $1,300, or cheaper if you go the import route, you get a Snapdragon 8 Elite, up to 24GB RAM, a 1TB UFS 4.0 drive, and a 6.78-inch 165Hz AMOLED screen. Its battery life is legendary, pushing past 20 hours, and it's got capacitive triggers, RGB lighting, and game-boosting features. Whether you're gaming on the go or just don't want to carry two devices, this one's got you. So, which handheld is calling your name in 2025? If you want raw power and flexibility, the Steam Deck OLED is a no-brainer. For unmatched exclusives and that hybrid playstyle, Switch OLED or the new Switch 2 are still killing it. Craving Windows freedom and performance, the Legion Go and ROG Ally X have your back. And for the multitaskers who game between FaceTime calls, the iPad Mini 7 and ROG Phone 9 Pro are here to make your day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below telling us which handheld are you rocking this year. And remember, you can't rage quit life, but you can pause and play. Catch you in the next one.